Fast Lawyer VR Reviews. For sexy VR reviews, hit the subscribe button. Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to review the MetaQuest TV app. This is completely free to play. I don't know if every one of y'all's familiar with the TV app. It has a lot of free videos, but also some paid videos as well in the MetaQuest TV app. And it is content that does get updated. I won't say quite frequently, but it does get updated, almost every month with new content. And I'm always surprised by the quality of some of the content. Not everything in here is very good. The first thing I would recommend is resizing it. And you can move it all around, however you want it, closer, farther away, more curved, less curved. This is the way that I like it, though. And you'll see this is the default format where it shows spotlight at the top. And, this will change quite frequently, what's being spotlighted. A lot of these are from the metaverse, from the MetaQuest venues, from the Facebook venues, where they show a lot of their content there, different musical events they've had there. And then it also has what people are watching. I generally don't click on this, but the one thing I will notice is if you'll see here, there's a little icon in the lower right and it says immersive. That'll let you know what kind of content that you're watching. So if it says immersive, this is content made for VR. So this is going to be stereoscopic 3D. It could be either 360 or 180. Can't really tell just from it saying immersive. But this is all stereoscopic 3D content made for VR of different quality. Unfortunately, some of this stuff looks really great, and some of this stuff doesn't look so good. And some of that will vary depending on your streaming speed. So your internet connection will affect the quality of a lot of this stuff. And as you can see, there's a lot of content here. Now, I will tell you that this one, Inside the Box of Curios, that's just a teaser for an actual paid product. So you're not actually seeing all the Cirque du Soleil stuff. And you notice here I come to the edge and it's like thinking, but it never actually updates. So this is how you've been to, you're at the edge. It also keeps track of what you're watching. Now, this is one of the improvements to MetaQuest TV. It didn't always keep track of where you were, so you had to remember where you were, but now it automatically tracks for you. Space Junk is amazing. If you have not seen Space Junk, I highly recommend it. Any of the 3D animated content is going to look good. A lot of the Shark 3D stuff is really good as well, and one in particular that I'll talk about later. This sexy fail. This is like a animated, I want to say almost like a TV series, and it's really good. The Soloist, amazing. If you haven't seen the Soloist VR, this is 360 3D, but it's actually, the quality is very good. I highly recommend The Soloist. Now, this is something that's very misleading. This is Night of the Living Dead 3D. So this is a movie, and it says 3D at the title, but if you look at the bottom, it actually says 2D. So it's not actually 3D. So be aware of that. Make sure you're looking at the icons. Again, this is 180 3D. And look here, The Three Musketeers. This is a 3D movie, full-featured movie. In case you're wondering, there are no ads whatsoever. You click on the movie, and it's like you're watching it from Netflix. There are no ads. So this is completely free, and I personally like Three Musketeers in 3D. It's probably the best way to view it. So anyways, there's some VR animated shorts. Again, you'll see this little icon lets you know this is content made for VR. So you can just click on it and know that it's made for VR. There used to be lots of comedy specials in 3D, but I think they took all that content away. Now there's currently the Black History Month, and the one that I've seen and that I've really enjoyed is MLK Now Is the Time. It's really well done. Happening now, again, these are concerts sponsored by Meta. Uh, I will say that, nothing against these artists. I'm sure they're all great, but the streaming quality for me was a letdown. I was expecting better, and unfortunately, you would expect this to be the best looking VR content, the best looking 3D, but it's not, and that's a shame. And I really don't understand why. Maybe it's because it's a live concert. Must see entertainment. These are all pretty good for the most part. Again, varying quality though. So, but for the most part, these are pretty good. And as you can see, it says some of them say 360, 3D. Some of them just say 360. So here it says Polar Bear 360. This is not 3D. So watch out. South Pole, not 3D. So you probably don't want to click on these because they're just not as good as the ones that say 360 3D. Usually the 180 3D are the best looking ones. But again, it just depends. There's a lot of Ukraine, Borneo. Uh, anything by Attenborough is going to be really good. Paul, anything from Felix and Paul Studios is going to be really good. Yeah, this is actually a nice series because this is fully 3D here, and I was surprised by the quality of this content. I usually don't expect it, because this looks like something like from YouTube video, but the quality here is excellent. It's really professionally made. Again, here Ace Pilot. I mean, I'm sure I would love all this content, but it's just 360. It's not 3D, so pass on that. These playlists, I mean, you can click on them, but you just don't know what you're going to get. So I don't really understand the point of that. And Tested does a good series. Animals, again, some of them say 360, some of them say 180 3D. You want to be clicking on the ones that say 3D. So again, these soul set, actually these 183, these ones are better than the bigger name ones because these are at least these right here, not this one. Scratch this one. This is 2D, but these 180 3D, they're good. They look good in VR. But again, there's a lot of collection. The horror collection is probably the most disappointing one, although I highly recommend Face Your Fears here. This Edgar Allan Poe one is really good. And one of the reasons why I decided to review the MetaQuest TV app is because I wanted to bring attention to Oceania VR, especially the Shark Cave. It is so good. It's 180 3D, and you're in this cave full of sharks, nurse sharks, and it looks amazing. And I highly recommend it. I was blown away by this. It's only 9 minutes long, so if you have MetaQuest, this is must-watch TV in my opinion. This one, the Shark Cave, but these other two, the Great Barrier and Fiji Coral Rising, are also very well done, very good. They're all good. And here again, you have different quality ones. I'm not going to get into all of them, but uh, I especially like Queerskin's Arc. I think that's a very well made little short movie short. And again, these are varying qualities. David Attenborough, anything by him is going to be great. All of these look amazing. Uh, First Life. There's one about some little bugs as well. They're all great. Behind the Dish, it was good. I liked it. I haven't seen the war in Ukraine, but I do plan on watching that again. 180 3D. Avoid this one though, 360. And again, events and venues. I think the quality should be better for these, and it's not as good as you would think they would be. A lot of these VR animations are done by the community, and a lot of them are excellent. This Colette is only 2D though, so I don't know why it's here. 3D documentaries, for the most part, all these especially Space Junk. Space Junk is amazing. This will blow you away. The 3D quality here is some of the best 3D I've ever seen. It kind of reminds me of like Avatar 3D. When I saw that in the movie theaters, I was just totally blown away. So all of this here, I recommend. All of these 3D documentaries are really well done, and these 3D animated shorts as well. They're all good. 3D shorts tend to all be really good. Because you really get that 3D effect. Unfortunately, all these trailers 2D, so all these are a waste of time. I don't think you want to see 2D videos in VR. And unfortunately, a lot of the Shark stuff is 360. This one isn't. This one's 3D. So this one's good, but the rest, pass on those. And again, a lot of good animated shorts. Like I said, for the most part, animated ones are really good in VR. Even indie ones, they're all really good. It's surprising what people can make on their own. It really is amazing to me. And again, I wanted to I wanted to scroll down because I wanted to get to this. So look at all these movies. Now these are 2D movies, but these are free with no commercial interruptions, no ads, completely free, already included with your MetaQuest. So why not watch these if you haven't? Uh, House of a Thousand Corpses is great. Uh, Bleeding Steel. Okay, some of these are actually Blair Witch Project. Um, Battle for Terror, 24 Hours to Live. Amityville Moon. I haven't seen that one, so I don't know. Evil Dead 2, Vice, The Fog, running to some classic movies. The Amityville Harvest, Legend of Hercules. This one's actually in 3D. Creepy Crawlies, Escape Room. A lot of this is 2D content, so you really got to search for the 3D. Hannibal Rising, good movie. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, yeah, you probably want to watch that one. That one's really good. Again, Night of the Living Dead 3D. That's misleading. It's not 3D. Some of these are repeats already. Like I said, most of them are 2D, but they're here. Hellbender 3D, not the best movie, but it's 3D. And The King's Speech. Wow, that's a really good one. Saw 3D. There you go. Darkest Hour 3D. There you go. Nurse 3D. That's a guilty pleasure of mine, I have to admit. Secretary. Okay, yeah. No comment. Zach and Mary make a porno. No comment. Yeah, so there's a lot of content here. There used to actually be a whole lot more movies, and they really cut down. Now, I'm not gonna scroll through all this, but some of this is paid content, like Battle Scar, Gloomy Eyes. That's all paid content there. Hulu, this is all 2D. You probably don't. Quest for Fitness, though, this is 2D stuff or 360, but hey, you get free exercise programs, so why not? Again, I don't want to click on everything, but The Soloist, highly recommend that. That's must watch in my opinion. Weird Times, really good, really good. Anyways, the reason why I wanted to get to the bottom is because I want you to notice that there's a browse, there's channels. Now, I don't know why they have the channels here. They're just redirecting you to other apps. Your media and save. Now, for browse, you can actually filter to only see VR videos. So this way, you only see the VR content. However, I don't recommend doing that. And the reason I don't recommend doing that is because it doesn't show the 3D movies. So unfortunately, there's no easy way to see all the 3D movies. But you'll see that you can search for them. Maybe you'll get lucky, but I would recommend just clicking on cinematic VR experiences. And it'll take a little while. Again, this will depend on your internet speed. A lot of the horror stuff, especially made by Meta, is just not very good. So I'm not going to spend too much time here. And you'll see there's different videos. Again, a lot of these are 2D. But here, movies. This is what you want, okay? And you'll see there's even more movies here that we didn't see before. Which, they used to have a much huge... Oh, here, Drive Angry 3D. Highly recommend that one. The Darkest Hour. I don't know. Have we already talked about The Darkest Hour? But it says Drive Angry twice. I don't know why. So yeah, just click on this and get to see more movies. But again, it just ends suddenly. There used to be a whole lot more movies available to watch. They really cut down on the amount of free movies they used to have, which is a shame. So overall, this is free. It's hard to complain about free, and I have found a lot of content that I've enjoyed from MetaQuest TV, and they keep updating it with new stuff. So, yes, it's not as good as it used to be because it used to have, I think, more movies available to see for free. But this is something that Meta has continually supported, which I'm surprised. They drop a lot of stuff. But you'll find a lot of great 3D content for VR here. So I highly recommend this app. It is free after all. I'm not going to rate it because I don't think it makes sense to rate it, but I just wanted to highlight that there's a lot of good content here, including Oceania and the Shark Cave. I highly recommend the Solo SVR. I highly recommend Space Junk. I highly recommend. And so there's a lot of good stuff here, and I wanted to highlight that and bring the MetaQuest TV app to y'all's attention in case you haven't taken the time to really get to know this app. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. This has been my review for MetaQuest TV app. I highly recommend it. Unfortunately, I can't show any of the content because I'd probably get a copyright strike if I tried to do that. But again, the quality of the streaming content will depend a lot on your internet speed. I do believe that what's available does vary by region. So I'm in the USA, so this is what I get to see. And yeah, the movie selection used to be a whole lot better. There used to be a ton of movies. They've really cut back on that. But yeah, there's several three. If nothing else, there's several 3D movies you can watch in VR. And if nothing else, you can watch Secretary in 2D in VR, and it's a guilty pleasure. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. This has been my review for MetaQuest TV app. Hey, it's free. Meta doesn't have to provide any of this to us, and yet they are. And again, this is without ads. Only some of them have um are paid content, and I'm sure the Hulu stuff may have ads. I don't know. I've never clicked on the Hulu stuff. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a wonderful day. Goodbye.